Welcome back to Car Audio 101. My name is Alan with Sonic Electronics, and today we're going to be teaching you about upgrading your factory car stereo speakers. So one of the next things you're going to want to consider after you've upgraded your factory car stereo is upgrading your factory speakers. Factory speakers are made out of cheap materials that won't last very long, and they're not designed for sound quality reproduction. An aftermarket speaker will definitely handle more power, play louder, and sound way better. So why bother upgrading your factory speakers? Well, this is why. Here's a factory speaker. As you can see here, it's made out of really cheap materials, really flimsy cone. There's no tweeter. This would be considered like a dual cone speaker. If we flip over to the back side where you can see the magnet, you can see it's just really small, which doesn't necessarily mean like the magnet size is going to make it a better speaker, but I mean, you can just see it's a very cheap overall speaker. So now I want to show you what an aftermarket speaker looks like. Now, as you can see here, this aftermarket speaker is made up of much better quality materials. This has a rubber surround, a MCR cone, which is a mica reinforced cellular cone. It has a tweeter where the factory speaker, as you saw, did not have a tweeter. Much larger voice coil, which will allow this speaker to handle way more power than what the factory speaker could do. So you'll get a lot better mid-bass. With this tweeter, you're going to have much better higher end frequencies, which the factory speaker is not going to have the ability to do. Flipping over here on the back side, you can see a much larger motor, obviously because this speaker will handle a lot more power. This has built-in crossovers, which are designed to make this speaker sound the best that it can. They put these here for a reason, and it's designed to make the speaker sound the best that it can, so you get the best performance sound quality. And with all these materials, this speaker is going to last you a long time and sound way better. So this is definitely why you would want to upgrade your speakers. So now that we've discussed some of the differences from an aftermarket speaker to a factory speaker, now I'm going to go ahead and show you the two common configurations that an aftermarket speaker is usually sold in. So right over here we have the coaxial speaker that we showed you earlier during our comparison, and as you can see here, coaxial basically means there's a mid-range and there's a tweeter. It's all built into one. Now over here you basically have the exact same speaker, except this is what they call a component because there's multiple pieces. There's your same mid-range, but instead of the tweeter being here, it's now separate, so that way you can mount the tweeter up in an alternative location. And usually by doing a tweeter in an alternative location, you wind up with better imaging, better staging, and just overall better sound quality. When you have a set of components like this, you wind up with a crossover network, similar to kind of like what I showed you on the back of the coaxial speaker. So the only difference here is that you pretty much go from your amplifier into the crossover, and then from the crossover to your tweeter into the mid, and this automatically determines the range of what this tweeter should play, and same thing with the mid-range, so that way you have optimal sound quality. Now the coaxial does the exact same thing, except the crossover is built right onto the speaker. So with this, all you have to do is just go straight from your radio or your amplifier right under the two terminals, and everything's done. Whereas on this one, you have a few more components that you have to deal with, but the overall benefit is much better sound quality than what a factory speaker would offer, or even in some instances a coaxial. So although these are the two most common configurations when choosing to upgrade your factory car stereo speakers, it's really a good idea to take a look at your car, take a look and see what factory options your car was equipped with and what you may want to upgrade to. Some cars are equipped with lots of different size speakers. Sometimes you may have a car that has a set of components in the front and rear. Sometimes you may have a car that just has coaxials all the way around. It could have a factory center channel. You could have speakers on your rear package tray. So there can be a lot of different size and configurations, and we're going to be going over all of that in greater detail, including power handling, frequencies, getting more into depth on the types of materials that the speakers are made out of and what to look for when making an educated purchase on upgrading your speakers. So stay tuned, make sure you subscribe to Car Audio 101 and check out all the upcoming videos that we're gonna have talking about speakers, and there's more to come. I'm Alan with Sonic Electronics, and thank you for watching.